Hello everyone and welcome to the bonus material from the Madagascar conservation interview. This is all the stuff I just couldn't fit in the main video, and so prepare to have your perceptions of your own country changed, how we look at our history and so on and so forth, and a little bit of information on renewable energy and women's groups in STEM in Madagascar. So thanks very much for tuning into this. I hope you're going to find it really entertaining. For reference, I've just asked Armand here to give us some of his thoughts on his 2018 visit to the UK.
You know that I really loved my trip to the UK. It was one of my best trip. But the UK was so special. In fact, it's a long time that I wanted to visit the UK, but
Well,
fortunately,
I remember in Madagascar in 2012, you said you'd never probably get to the UK because of our Home Office and the things that they do,
yes,
and that they wouldn't
but
let you, which is appalling. But there we are. But you did, you made
yeah,
it. So
yes, I made it. I'm very, very thankful for that. I noticed that the UK has a better vision and a better plan for the future.
okay,
Yeah, I can explain because wherever I went, you people, you respect green spaces.
right,
Always, even if it is in the middle of London, you always have a kind of green space where you can see green vegetation and very nice to see and carefully maintained. There are lots of zoo also to keep animals,
okay,
and you treat animals fairly well, very very well. I remember the families, most of the families that hosted me, they kept some dogs and cats. So every day they took the dogs for a walk of half an hour, which is very good. And that's the spirit of treating animals. It's very good. I like it.
yeah,
And also you have got also your heritage. That's part of you too. Yeah, with the national trusts.
yeah,
The national trusts are doing fine. Yeah, in keeping the original and also renovating it each time so that it can be always there to witness the past,
yeah,
to give the people to keep their past. And I think that's very good. You don't forget the past, you live the present, and you foresee also for the future, which is very, very good.
yeah,
And I think if the whole world follow your example, this world, this planet will stay forever green and having the heritage of the past. Even if 1,000 years gone, people can still see what was there. The example of Colosseum, for instance, in Italy,
the
yeah, it
Colosseum, yeah,
was thousands and thousands of years, but it is still there. And that's what I can see. I went to Petworth, I went to Powys Castle
Paris
on the
Castle, yeah,
border of Wales.
yeah,
Yeah, that's impressive. I visited also the British Museum
yeah,
and also London Zoo.
yeah,
They're just examples to give to you. And I like also the way you built the houses, the Georgian type of house. What is the other one also? Um, so it went through time. The, the type of housing style that you have in the
yeah.
UK, and you have a very good plan. I
Yeah,
think
I remember you
I've
saying
never
that
seen that before.
I remember you saying that the houses were all built with rules in mind. You couldn't just build any old house. They all had to
Yes,
have, certain
yes,
features and
that's
certain
it.
plumbing and certain things and power and all that kind of stuff, which is our planning rules. Okay, I think just hearing this again, I think is remarkable because I think there's a lot of people in the UK who wouldn't see their own country that way, and I think there's some other things about the way we live compared to the way you live, which would be a real problem. I mean, if everybody consumed resources the way a British person or an American person or a European did, then the planet would be doomed far sooner than it already is going to be, if it is going to be. So hearing a positive spin on that is very different and very refreshing. So I
And
remember you said
also,
about
and also,
Go on.
Sorry, Charles, but I just wanted to add, I noticed in Norfolk and in Hampshire and almost everywhere, even before I landed, I saw also in the sea there those turbines
Yes. I remember
for
you saying about energy generation.
yes, and also the solar panels.
Yeah.
You know, solar panels are not the future. You don't have the sun the whole year, but you have got lots of solar panels everywhere.
Yeah.
And
It
in
seems
Africa, here in Madagascar, we don't have any.
that
So
seems
maybe that's
crazy,
also one.
doesn't it? It's
Yeah,
we've got all the solar panels, but it's always cloudy, and you've got all the sun, but no solar panels.
yes. So that's also one thing that I really love in your country. Yeah, the presence of the solar panels, and people can use electricity, gas, and that helps to
Hmm.
stop cutting trees.
Yeah.
I went to the New Forest,
Which
to
is
the
where I was
New
born.
Forest,
That's where I
to
was
the New
born.
Forest
So,
in Hampshire.
yeah,
Yeah,
I
which
know it
was very
well.
good to see. Yeah, we walked New Forest, but it seems it's very good old forest, but not a new forest. Maybe only
No,
by name.
1066 that was established. Yeah.
1066.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's just to give you an example of the land where you keep with forest and with
Yeah.
green spaces.
Oh,
But
I did.
everywhere I went,
I
it
didn't know
was
you'd actually
green.
been. I didn't know you'd actually been to the New Forest because that's home for me. That's where I was born.
Wow,
So
that's so
I
good.
didn't
I
know you'd
love it.
actually. I know you'd been down to Hampshire, but I didn't know you'd been there. So I guess we're sort of coming towards the end here, which is if you so, and all the things that you've said and all the wonderful ideas you've shared with us about conservation. If you were able to change something, one thing, and I think you're doing more than most people to change the future for nature in Madagascar. But if you ran the world or was president of Madagascar and you could change one thing to protect Madagascar's environment, what do you think it would be?
There are so many things in my mind, but once you said one thing, it's very difficult for me to choose. But maybe in terms of priority, I think we should stop cutting trees,
Yeah,
and we should continue planting more trees. But by doing so, we have um, to give the possibility for people to live. So I think by introducing the renewable energy like the solar energy,
yeah,
that would be one thing that I would like to put in place first. So once we get that, because we have got the sun, we are just talking about that in the first question before this. But if I have a chance to put in place all these solar panels,
yeah,
since we
definitely.
have got the sun 10 months or 11 months a year, then I would do so. So people will stop cutting trees, making charcoal, and our forest will come back again everywhere we can see green,
Well,
especially in the west side.
maybe that's something that you and I in the future can do. We'll start our own NGO, and we'll send solar panels from the UK where they're not needed to Madagascar where they are.
Looking
But
forward to that,
yeah,
Charles.
absolutely.
With pleasure.
And so one little extra question. You were just telling me about some work you were doing with a women's group in Madagascar. Now, I often talk about in my conservation lessons when you're engaging with the local populations, engaging anywhere in the world, that the women are incredibly important. In terms of moving conservation forward. So can you just add a little bit about what that project is and what you're helping them with?
Yeah, that project of women association that they used to call it Ikala STEM. Yeah, I will send the link to you later on.
Yeah.
Ikala STEM, it was created, I think, in 2013, and association were a group of women students and scientists, researchers, yeah, scattered all over the globe. It's not only in Madagascar.
Yeah.
And some of those girls in Maria Ranu, they were part of it. They are part of it. And
That's great.
recently they organized a kind of Zoom conference because it was still the lockdown, so we didn't have the possibility of gathering. But the Zoom conference was held in that afternoon for two girls to share their ambition and their projects in making a change in terms of environment and conservation in Madagascar. So the scientists, at least it was my first time to hear, and I was very happy to join them. And now I'm member of, since 2 days ago, I'm an active member, to help them also to sustain them in their venture. And I like it because they are sharing, they are bringing their own assets individually, and they are sharing, directly or indirectly with ideas or with anything that they have at hand to make the women association developed and active in the different parts of the countries, in villages, to help people, especially to encourage the women in different remote villages where there is no education, to assist them to be courageous in terms of daily life. And also they also bring some changes because some of them are studying computing. Some of them are working in hospitals, in so many scientists, researchers. So they bring their own initiative and creative to make things better in Madagascar. I'm going to learn more about it, and I will tell you more later on.
Yeah, it's fantastic. It's obviously
because I follow it all the time.
Yeah, I mean, I think some of our students here might be surprised at how unequal society is for women in Madagascar. I mean, it's not perfectly equal here, but I think what you were saying about the inequalities before we started was very stark, and good on you for supporting their group and their efforts. So yeah, thank you for that. That's excellent.
I like people making effort because I want to make effort also to make good in life.
Yeah.
So if they are ready, then I'm ready to work with them side by side.